today's video, I'm going to give you an update on how this tank's going. So it's been 6 weeks since I flooded the tank and planted it up and got everything going. It's gone really quickly because we've had the festive season and that's just gone like a flash, and we're getting back to normality. It's in January, the second week of January, and this tank has been pretty much plain sailing. We had a tiny bit of malm on the main bit of wood, and I scraped that off, and that was pretty much it. Apart from, we've had a lot of crypt melt, but with regards to a diatom outbreak, it's been virtually zero, which is wonderful. It's probably down to the filter being mature, and from this really large mat of floating stem plants. I didn't plant them in, I've purposely put them in there just to bob around because they're quick growing. I think it's Hygrophila polysperma, possibly the Rosenvig version, I don't quite remember. But it's just floating around in the water, it's caught on a bit of wood and it's sending out loads of aerial roots, so it's sucking up all of the excess nutrients. And yeah, it's helped balance the tank pretty quickly, if I'm totally honest with you. After 2 weeks, I was doing water testing and we were having 0 nitrates and ammonia and nitrates. Everything was in the correct zones. I think nitrates you need about 25 to 30 parts per million. Was it nitrites? I never remember which way around. I do it with an API test kit and all of my readings were fine. So I waited another 2 weeks and then got my livestock in. I'll probably overlay some images because my daughter and we did it together. She was really excited about getting the shrimp back in and getting the fish back in. So we did that together. And then, yes, I've just been watching everything and it's been plain sailing, really. The bulbitis on this side, the immersed growth was starting to turn brown, so I've hacked that back and it's now got, I don't know, it's got about half a dozen or so submerged leaves, so they're true leaves coming through, which is great to see. Apart from that, that's pretty much the only trimming I've done. Obviously I've removed the melted crypts, they're now starting to come back, which is great. I'll do some close-ups in a minute. This mat of Hygrophila polysperma has gone bonkers. It is sending out aerial roots all over the place, side shoots. It's dominating, it's creating quite a lot of shadow. So today I think I'll remove some of it. I don't want to remove it all because I think that will create an imbalance to the tank. So I'm just going to start, I think week on week, maybe taking out one of the stems per week. You'll also see that the water lettuce has gone bonkers, so I'm going to have to remove some of that because it's blocking some of the light for the foreground plants here. But yeah, it's been really simple. Of all the tanks I've done so far, this has been the most straightforward. I will reiterate, I think it's down to the mature filter and having this big mass of floating plants to really bump up the overall tank plant mass. So yeah, I don't know, maybe consider doing it yourself next time you're setting up a tank. Just throw some quick growing stems in there, letting them bob about for the first sort of month or so, a bit longer, just see if it helps. One thing that has been happening, which didn't happen before because I had a largely sand-based sand substrate, and that is my 2 snails. I want to get more snails, but my 2 snails, I believe, they keep on burying themselves down the side of the glass and the edge of the aqua soil, and in doing so they dislodge some of the my Marsilia hirsuta or crenata? Minuta. Marsilia minuta around the front, and so I occasionally find little sprigs of the stuff floating at the surface. in amongst all of this, so I then have to replant it. So when I remove some of this later, I'll just have to be careful and make sure that I'm not pulling out any Marsilia. And if I see any, I'll just replant it quickly. But apart from that, and the tiny bit of mulm on this wood in the middle, it's actually been really fine. And it's great to have some fish in there as well. They're all settling in quite well. I would like to get some more of the neon black tetras, I think that's what they're called. And I think one other shoal, something else to just sort of dominate up here. I'm thinking just some regular neon tetras, maybe a small group of like 7. The CPDs, the Celestial Peldanos, I love them to bits. They are such a joy to have, and they've been enjoying these little pockets. They're all coming to the front because they think I'm going to feed them, but they're all populating these little pockets. And I think this is something that I've really enjoyed about doing the stonework, this like this. And in previous scapes I've largely done my stoneworks flat and almost made like a dry stone wall, but in this one I've put it on edge, a bit like the Brazilian method. So I'll show you with the camera in a minute. So it creates it breaks the line of sight for the fish, so you find quite a lot of little territories that the fish occupy. So I don't know. Anyway, let me show you. So let's see if I can show you. I have to come around the side, so bear with me. So hopefully, plant in the way. So hopefully you can see that. I don't know how clear that's coming through on the shot, but the stones are actually balancing on their narrow edge. I don't know if you can see that, but the stones are actually on their narrow edge, and so anything that sort of occupies this little space here is going to be largely out of view of anything that's out over there or back here. And in doing so, I think, let's see if I can show you on this side as well. Yeah, this is another little space over here. Lots of the struggling focus. Oh, there's a minor shrimp there. Lots of the fish occupy this space down here, and around here the shrimp like to gather. Hello, Mr. Bluefish. So yeah, this is the Bulbitis here. If the fishies get out of the way. Yes, you too. Come on, come on. Yeah, this Bulbitis here. Go on, shoot. This Bulbitis here. This is the one that I trimmed up nicely, took away all the immersed growth leaves, and now it's coming through. It's doing well. It's doing much better. Yeah, Echinodorus. They're all putting on their true leaves. They're much darker. They've had quite a lot of shadow from all of this water lettuce and red root floaters. Ooh, let me change the ISO on that. I don't know how. I can do that. Great. There we go. Turn that down a bit because it's quite bright. Yeah, as you can see, it's kind of beginning to dominate. So I'll try and get rid of some of that today, as well as some of that matte. There we go, some of that matte of Hygrophilium polysperma. So yeah, let's see what we can do. Okay, that is all one stem. I don't know if you can see that very clearly. You can see that better now. That's all from one stem, and it's just gone bonkers. As you can see, roots everywhere, Side shoots everywhere. Great. See if we can get a bit more. Yeah, there we go. There's another bit there. Let's create a bit more space. Ooh, let's just take out that little one there as well. There we go. It's a nice amount. I'll start taking that much out per week. I'll take a few more of these floating plants out. And we'll have another look around, see how we're doing. One more for luck, why not? There we go. Okay, I think that's going to do for today, removing those. But I did see a couple of loose plants. I think there's one little cryptocarpa. Oh, there's actually two cryptocarpas and one bit of Marsilia. That's nuts. Yeah, Marsilia minuta, prosciutto, something like that. There we go. Final bits. There we go. For this tank I use aquarium flake and some bug bites. I use the bug bites because the gourami, they like to surface feed, and I actually find the guppies like to surface feed as well. But let's get some flake in first. Let's get the main lot of fish fed. I always do a tap. It lets them know that food's coming. Think Pavlov's dogs. Yeah, I think that's the experiment, the chap who made the experiment. Put it in the flow. There we go, feeding frenzy. Very good. Now I'll put in a pinch or two of the bug bites. This isn't sponsored, it's just what I use. Don't know, yeah. Gourami's now going for the surface food. There we go, a couple of small pinches of that. There we go. Nice little 6-week update on how this tank is going. I'll continue with my weekly water changes. I'm only doing once a week now, and I'll start each water change. I'll then take out a bit more of this Hygrophilium polysperma, just a little bit week on week. A few more floating plants. The target is to not have anything up there, I think. I don't know, but that's a long-term target. The last thing to go will be the floating plants, but I want everything else to be a lot more grown in before I consider that. But yeah, a few more fish maybe in a week or two. But overall, really enjoying the tank. So, that's all for this week. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.